Hi, I'm actor Ian Champion, and welcome to History of Horror Cinema, my personal podcast tour of the good, bad, and the ugly of horror movie history. If you like what you hear, please don't forget to hit subscribe. Black Mama, White Mama, 1973. Chicks in chains. Where they come from, this is fun. Where I come from, this is not. Black Mama, White Mama is another of the blaxploitation women in prison movies set in Filipino locations, as used to dismal effect by Jack Hill in 1971's The Big Birdcage. Here, the difference is that two of the ladies, a feuding interracial pair, Pam Grier and Margaret Markov, escape, chained together like Poitier and Curtis in The Defiant Ones. The drastic bid for freedom is understandable, as the women's rehabilitation center they were newly incarcerated in features a butch female guard, Densmore, Lynn Borden, who from the opening establishes herself as in favor of intimate relations as part of prisoner socialization. She enjoys herself peeping on the showering newbies through a secret glory hole. She's also psychotic, slapping Grier with a black leather glove when her advances are rejected. Lee and Karen, Grier and Markov, are a strikingly different pair physically and temperamentally, and initially fight, causing them to be imprisoned for punishment standing up close together in an unbearably hot outside chamber called the oven. We've already established their disparate backgrounds beforehand, helpfully exposited by being told, "A terrorist and a hooker. You two should have a lot to talk about." Its side effect is to allow the audience more gratuitous boob shots. Hey, this is an AIP studio release after all. The two troublemakers are scheduled for transfer to a maximum security prison, but are freed in a shootout by revolutionary comrades of Karen led by a low-rent Che Guevara, Ernesto Zaldi Jornak. They make a break for it cross-country, at one point briefly posing unconvincingly as nuns. It turns out Lee had hidden away $40,000 belonging to her former pimp and dealer Vic Diaz, who is also a rival of the cops, and with the aid of genre regular Sid Haig as the Stetsoned Reuben, it seems everyone wants a piece of the ladies. Haig at least has the benefit of some pleasure at the hands of the two daughters of one of his associates, and manages to humiliate the pursuing cops by threatening to shoot off their old chaps before he is blown away in gunplay with the revolutionaries. In the ensuing bloodbath, Karen dies as Lee flees, leaving only the cops to ruminate on the insanity of a career in crime fighting. The recently passed Roger Corman's AIP gave many filmmakers a start in the business. Esteemed later film director Jonathan Demme co-wrote the story for this trashy, haphazard grindhouse filler, and the director Eddie Romero had made many films within the genre in the Philippines, such as The Mad Doctor of Blood Island. If you want a women's prison drama with characters and quality, go to Netflix's series Orange is the New Black. Foxy Brown, 1974. Once Jack Hill and Pam Grier hit their stride as an effective team of writer, director, and actor muse with coffee, of course they would do it again. What is exploitation if it doesn't make use of a winning team? For that matter, it's a formula to which all of Hollywood aspires. Knowing that black audiences found in Grier a strong, non-tokenistic female action heroine to cheer on, Hill distilled her appeal into a full-blooded vigilante hellcat with Foxy Brown. It was originally meant to be a direct sequel to Coffee, which I've previously covered. But when AIP nixed that idea, hasty changes had to be made, and there was no time, for example, to establish what job Foxy had, compared to her nurse duties in the previous film. Even so, Foxy Brown is a fun action vehicle, with some relishable dialogue and vengeance mayhem for Grier to savor. This is signaled from the start as she is telephoned by her old blaxploitation friend Antonio Fargas as her brother Link. His nervy hustler persona is perfectly suited to playing her ne'er-do-well sibling, who can't stay out of trouble and needs help in being extracted from mobster bad debt repercussions. With a sigh, Foxy gets out of bed, giving us the first of many boob shots, reaches for her pistol, and rescues him. She does this by mounting the pavement in her car, having Fargas get in at speed, plummeting face first through the sunroof, and depositing one of the tenacious hoods who clings to the hood into the harbor. Shady Fargus, though, cannot resist easy opportunity. His lack of self-awareness is overshadowed by a burning desire to channel his creative energy. "You tell me what I'm supposed to do with all this ambition," he moans. He justifies his scheming against what he sees as black social failure all around him, including Foxy's lover Michael Anderson, Terry Carter, whom he denigrates as a ruined informer, when he is in fact an undercover federal agent who's undergone plastic surgery to enable him to go back incognito onto the streets. Foxy visits him as he's completing his recovery, and also administers some non-medicinal TLC before a nurse spoils it. Link spoils things even more by treacherously informing on Anderson after Foxy tries to hide his old identity. The mob shoots Anderson to death, and Foxy threatens to kill her spineless scumbag brother when she finds out he was responsible for the tip-off. "You think you're back in with these people? They got a stick of dynamite up your ass and the fuse is burning." She has a solution to rectify the situation. "The only way to handle these smart-ass hoods is with a bullet in the gut." Foxy leaves her apartment, having roughed up Link and his girlfriend like the angel of death. "That's my sister, and she's a whole lot of woman," he mutters fearfully. Foxy herself now goes undercover to get revenge, posing as a hooker for a modeling agency run by the curiously androgynous villain Miss Catherine Loder. Her first customer is a corrupt judge who likes black women. "The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice," purrs Foxy before dispatching the pink-assed corrupt honky judge. Lines like these are scattered like blaxploitation pearls throughout the script. Foxy cuts like a scythe through the forests of gangsters, stopping off for help at a lesbian bar that is murkier than the dockside dive-in airplane. "I got my black belt in bar stools," she rages during a brawl. She enlists the help of a pilot in the unlikely form of genre familiar Sid Haig. I say unlikely because, aside from his dress sense of floppy hat and bushy hair making him resemble a bohemian painter, he refers to his skills as an airplane driver. Surely a scripting or actor's line faux pas? Foxy flies to the henchman's lair, where she propels one hood into dismemberment by gunning the plane at him, and for good measure cuts off the penis of Miss Catherine's lover. Back home, fetchingly leather-clad and bouffant of afro, she completes her mission by visiting the brothel madame and presenting her with her partner's bottled appendage, then enterprisingly shooting her with a pistol concealed in her hair. Overall, Foxy Brown pushes all the right buttons for sheer crowd-pleasing, no-brainer fun. The executions and one-liners Grier delivers are a bravura answer to the male vigilante figures sparked off by Charles Bronson, but with more humor, and the uncommon sight of a woman, and a black woman at that, in the driving seat. Thanks for listening. If you like what you hear, please don't forget to hit subscribe.